Osio, I hold us up. Well, I am sure that y'all have noticed that I haven't proceeded with the Empire Strikes Black lineage of the Aboriginal movement. I know y'all noticed that I did not continue with that series, that part of the series, the lineage of the Aboriginal movement. What I've come to realize is that I can't get too deep with you all. I'm not speaking about everybody. I'm talking about, a great majority, but I'm not talking about all of my followers, but I'd say a good portion of my followers. I can't get too deep. The information is too much, so I have to keep it basic with you all, give you some culture, history. It's too deep. So, and that's one of the reasons why the Red Road East, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons why I created the Red Road East, is because the stuff that I was doing on YouTube before the Red Road East, it was too deep. It was too deep. Because if I get too deep, I lose y'all. And even back then in the early 2000s, stuff was too deep then, and it's still too deep. I mean, here we're in the year 2020, and we're talking about way back in like 2005, and it was too deep then. Matter of fact, it was so deep then you can't even find those videos on YouTube anymore. YouTube took those videos down. Ask my camera lady. She'll tell you. You can't find that stuff on YouTube. You may find stuff from like 2008, but it just gets too deep. So the Red Road East is more palatable for y'all. It gets too deep. So we didn't even get halfway through the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation, the Empire Strikes Black lineage of the Aboriginal movement. We were barely halfway through. We didn't even make it to the halfway mark. We almost got there, but we didn't even make it to the halfway mark. So the rest of the presentation, you all will have to pay for. You have to come see me lecture in Harlem. Okay, as soon as the shelter in starts to ease up, then I'll be doing lectures in Harlem. Okay, but you have to pay for that though. So I'll continue the series then. You know, I mean, I'll have to, obviously I'll have to start over, because it'll be for the general public. But I will continue the whole presentation, and that actually the lineage of the Aboriginal movement is just one topic in a whole big series. That's just one topic in a whole series. Lineage of the Aboriginal movement is not even a fraction of what I have to talk about, in the Empire Strikes Black series, But we'll discontinue that. I just wanted to make that announcement to you all. Got some comments. Comment section. Some positive. Thanks for all of those, who have a brain. And what I might do, I might start doing, I'm going to experiment with doing some YouTube clips and just disabling the comments. If I disable the comment section, then maybe, that'll help me not to get so worked up and angry, So I'm trying to find a way to be proactive, But yeah, got some comments. Thanks for the positive ones. The negative ones, let's see. Let's take a look here. All right, we have this idiot again. This idiot, Carlton Walker. He says you can trace your lineage. And let me do a time check. Yeah, I want to stay on the clock. Give me 1 second. Where's that clock? All right, so he says you can trace your lineage and what you're teaching. A lot of it comes from the guy called Malachi Z. York. Malachi York. Malachi York started claiming. See, this is a fool who doesn't pay attention, because I said in the previous lectures that Dr. York didn't start out teaching Moorish Science, okay? As I told you before, he knew about the Moors because, like I said before, he wrote the book, Who Was Noble Drew Ali, And actually, that's where I first heard about Noble Drew Ali. But that wasn't his doctrine. Moorish Science wasn't his doctrine. As I told you before, he started, he was Islamic, And back when I first heard about the Ansars, they were the Ansar Allah community out in Bushwick. Okay? Now don't get me wrong, he was around even before that. Dr. York goes way back. Dr. York goes back to like in the 70s, you know. But when I first found out about Dr. York, he was the Ansar Allah community. All right? And they were not teaching Moorish science. Okay? And if you do your research on Dr. York, you know, you'll see, you know, they were Islamic. So matter of fact, let me shut Carlton Walker down, shut his nonsense, see, because he's talking about stuff that he wasn't even born to talk about. Okay? Okay, so let's see here. Let me show this. See, you know, I'm gonna just shut him down, just like, you know, he's just mad because, see, I shut down all that Aboriginal stuff talking about, you know, the Moors stole from the Aborigines and this, that, and I already shut that down. You know, even though I'm not even halfway, I didn't even get halfway through with the presentation of the lineage, I already shut it down. You know, so people already know that fools like him who's talking about, you know, Aborigines and stuff, I already shut it down and proved that the Aborigines took their stuff from the Moors. I already shut him down and shut down all those other people in my comment section calling themselves Aborigines. I already shut them down. And I didn't even get halfway through the presentation. So imagine if I would have went through the whole PowerPoint presentation. You see what I'm saying? It's already checked. They're already in checkmate. So let's go here. Okay. So here's one of Dr. York's books from back in the days. Opening of the Seventh Seal. Secret Societies Unmasked. Okay? This is one of Dr. York's old books. From back in like the 70s and 80s. Okay? You used to see this right here on the back of all of their books. Alright? Anybody will tell you who was around and into knowledge back in the 80s will tell you that this is they'll immediately start giving you the nod, be like, yep, back of all of Dr. York's books, you find this right here. Okay? right? This is the book here, right? I'm trying to make it as big as possible so that y'all can see it. Okay, if you look at the bottom here, you see authored by Asaid Isa Al-Hadi Al-Mahdi. First printing 1975. First revision 1984. Second revision 1990. Okay? So don't sit up and tell me. And see, here's my book here. Physical. Okay, you guys are doing Google searches. Okay, I'm a primary source. I was there on the scene. Okay, Carlton Walker, you didn't fall out your mother's butt until 2 days ago. Okay, you are a Google researcher. I'm a primary source. I was right there. Primary. Don't talk about what you weren't around to experience. So now I'm gonna spank Carlton Walker's little ass like I'm his daddy. Okay? Spank this young man. Lay the spank down. And the smackdown. So you're gonna get an ass whipping and a smackdown. Pimp smack. Book so old, the cover done fell off. The cover fell off. See what I'm saying? Hold up. Getting a lot of brightness there. Let me see how I can. Alright. See? Make this bigger. Book in my hand. Physical copy. Okay. I still got some of those books from back in the days. Alright? I got books for days. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Alright? So, yeah. It's like Wesley Muhammad said, it's time to put an end to street corner scholarship. See what I'm saying? 'Cause we're doing a lot of street corner scholars. All right. So on page 354 of that book, let's look at what he was teaching. Start reading. Just as you, the Nubian black, question al-Islam, question the other so-called religious groups you read about. Why is it that you are so quick to criticize small groups and their followers? Why is it that you are so convinced that these groups are devil worshippers? Why is it that you can only identify them with the occult? You fail to realize that the term occult really means. Realize what the term occult really means. You will accept occultism in movies, music, government, etc., but you will not accept religions who do not practice occultism. Think about it. Conclusion. To my children that are involved in these black Masonic organizations, you must remember that those Masonic organizations were originally created for the Amorites. Your place is here, in the tabernacle of the Most High. Only in here will you learn the knowledge you need to follow. The knowledge you need to know to take your soul to paradise. In here you will find the true knowledge, not that fictitious knowledge that is being taught to you now. As stated earlier, the noble order of the mystic Shriner was created for the Amorites to teach them how to respect the Nubian black man. Historically, they were taught by the prophet Apostle Muhammad, who was a Muslim son Mason. Al-Islam is your true way of life. The Islamic culture is the society you should be concerned with joining. You are born a Muslim, one of peace, but you've been misguided. You've been distracted by the delicacies of the harlot, America. You're under the spell of Leviathan. Refer to edition number 15, Leviathan 666. I remember that book. I used to have that book, Leviathan 666. So you don't know a damn thing about that, Carlton. The devil will do everything in his power to keep you from the true society that you should be in. The Nubian Islamic Hebrews mission. Ansaru Allah community. Do I be a nation of Moors? Do I be a nation of Moors? Do I be a nation of Moors? No. The Nubian Islamic Hebrews mission. Ansaru Allah community. Okay? Skip over in the interest of time. It was just talking a bunch of religious stuff here. This half an hour spoken of in this quote represents the time from the year 1970 AD. He's talking about, the stuff he was saying right here on this page. I'm not going to get into all of that. To the year 2000 AD. This is the period of time when all false doctrine will be exposed and perish, after which the truth will be known to the world. So, around this time, there was a lot of stuff that they were referring to as false doctrines, which, included Kemetic science and stuff at that time. Because I used to debate with those guys all the time. Right? Like I said, they weren't teaching back then all that stuff that they're teaching now. Okay? My children, time is running out. The hourglass is almost empty. You must come to the realization that there is just one place you Nubians should be. You Nubian Moors should be. You Nubian Moors should be. Washita, Yamasi should be. Yamasi, Washita. No, Nubians. There is just one society that you should belong to, and that is the Nubian Islamic Hebrew mission, Ansaru Allah community. I rest my case. Carlton Walker, you've just been debunked. Okay? Shut down. Shut you down. Again, as I keep doing. Because I don't just talk. I come with the documentation. Okay? That's what they were dealing with back then, just Islam. Wasn't talking about they were no Moors, Nubian nation of Moors and all that. They jumped on the bandwagon later. Just like you choker-wearing Negroes jumped on the bandwagon later. Okay? Talking about your aboriginal to the land. Y'all jumped on that later. Y'all were talking about y'all are Africans. Runaway slaves who mixed in with the Mongoloid Indians. I used to have to debate with y'all too. Trying to tell y'all that we are aboriginal to the land and not some Africans stuffed in a ship like sardines. Okay? Y'all ain't want to hear that back in the days. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I already hear you in the comment. I already hear you out there in YouTube watching this video saying otherwise. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And if you say that, you weren't born yet. So don't talk about what you weren't born to experience. And if you were around then, you weren't conscious. Okay? And if you weren't conscious, that means you were up in the club shaking your behind, acting like a fool. All right? Clueless. Deaf, dumb, and blind. So don't come up and try and tell me, okay, while I was doing the knowledge. Okay? Back in the late 80s and 90s. All right? Dr. York was talking about he was the grandson of the Mahdi in Sudan. The great-grandson of the Mahdi in Sudan. That's what he was claiming back then. Debate me on it if you dare. All right? Now, that's not to say that he may not be legitimately related to the Mahdi. But I'm not going to get into all that, you know. And that's not even to say that he is not Aboriginal either, because from what I hear, he is related somehow to the Empress. I heard that before too. So, you know. But as far as what he was promoting and what he was pushing and what he was claiming, you know, I think that's on his mother's side. The Aboriginal side is on his mother's side. So, but he was claiming the father's side, okay, and centered his doctrine, you know, around his lineage on his father's side. All right, the Sudanese side, okay. So, just wanted to hit y'all with that. You know, I'm going to fix something to eat now. It's that time. All right? So, you know, I just wanted to shut that down. You know, like I say, you know, I'm not going to make a comment that I can't back up with documentation. You know, others are giving lip service. Carlton Walker is giving lip service. You know, I just gave Carlton Walker that work. He got that work. So on that note, I'm going to close out. Da-da-da, go home, eat.